What a time we've had.
What a time we've had. Welcome back to the Steven and Steven show. I'm Steven.
I'm also Steven. This is episode 10.
Is it?
So, yeah. I mean, I feel like we should throw some sort of party, some sort of celebratory social media promotion.
It's leg day. Did not do legs.
Have legs. It's a day.
Did not go to the gym. Did nothing of the sort. We took quite a long sabbatical from our.
It was a little bit of a hiatus. 9. Yeah. Well, the glory that was brought down when we were in person together, the internet could only sustain so much more. So, yeah. What do we take? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
A lot.
We'll try and not do that again. I had the pleasure and honor of attending the memorial service for our beloved Uncle Ed Chavez.
Uncle Ed. I saw the pictures of you and the video of you singing in the choir.
Yes.
You stick out like a white thumb.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the Flores Chavez choir that's a thing.
No joke. It's no joke. So for those of you who may not know, we married into a family that is quite musical in nature, a large Hispanic family. Yeah. Stephen and I are two of the only white people there, and so we are.
There was George and Sandy. So the for the evening, and then James, the new son-in-law, is, according to him, he's a quarter Hispanic. So there was 3 3/4 whites that were off to the side for the reception component. But it was a good show. But dude, this thing is for real. I thought, I'm just gonna go be in the choir, and that means you're gonna stand there and just
sing a couple of gospel songs.
Watermelon.
No, bro, no.
These homies had a rehearsal.
Was like going parts, like we were.
Bro, Memo was directing the choir, and this guy is sweating. I mean, he's like TD Jake's sweating. He's like, it's coming down. And then there was an organ involved, and did I say that right?
Organ. Not the state, the
right, but also
the instrument,
more like the internal body,
right?
Organ. Okay, so there was an organ involved.
I think you said organ again.
Okay, organ.
2 syllables. Organ. Oof. Yeah, there it is.
Organ. PD was on the drums. He was great on the drums.
Nice.
He was rocking it. But bro, that choir gets rocking, and there's a lot of different dynamics going on in the choir. I will say this, that we have a lot of podcast fans in the choir. In the Chavez side of the family, Ed Chavez Jr., who sang incredible solos. Shout out to Ed, huge fan of the podcast.
Yeah, a loyal patron of the Steven and Steven show.
He had some questions. He wanted to know where the latest episode was.
And here we are, bro.
I told him we would get back on it.
We came back for you, cousin Ed.
He's a commuting listener, so he's very much like, I gotta have the Steven and Steven show for my commute. So
he's one of our non-British listeners. Apparently.
One of our non-British listeners. I don't know what those people across the pond are doing while they're on the tube, traveling across London. But Ed Chavez Jr., it was a pleasure to hear so many kind pieces of commentary. Paul too, also listener of the podcast. So
hey, Paul too.
Shouts to Paul too.
Wow.
And then there's a couple other folks that were scattered about. But man, that thing, that choir, they required us to be there for rehearsal. And so I was like, we're
for real singing.
We're gonna rehearse. Okay. So I've sang in church since I was like knee high to a grasshopper. I don't know parts, and you and I have participated on stage in worship settings numerous times. I don't sing parts, and so they were like, okay, the altos, you're gonna be over there, and the sopranos and the tenors and the philharmonics and the all this stuff. I don't know what any of that was, so I was like, what am I? And fortunately my wife was like, go stand by the tenors. So they start going through this, and they're telling us, everybody, how to sing, and I'm like, I'm lost. I don't know the words. Like you said, stuck out like a big white thumb. It was quite the experience. And then, of course, there were some people that joined the choir for the performance that did not show up to the rehearsal performance. And wow. They got some side eye, let me tell you.
There it is.
Yeah,
take this seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to be there to pour my heart and soul into it, just ask that.
If I'm going to sow my gift into this memorial service, the least you can do is come for a rehearsal.
So anyways, there was a good, I would say there's probably about 20, 25 people that were in the choir.
Wow.
It was an intense performance of vocal harmonies. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So after 11 years of marriage, I made the choir. I don't know that I'll ever be invited back, but it was a milestone moment.
That's big. That's big for our family.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So anyways, we took a little sabbatical, and over the course of this is what we're going to get into. You and I have had similar challenges that the Lord has bestowed upon us for growth purposes in regards to automobiles. And
oh, dear God.
I know. Mine is spanning the lifeline of, we're coming up on 6 months now. But I want to, before I go into mine, I want to unpack yours because it looks like you hit somebody's grandma. Did I understand that correctly?
Well, somebody's grandma hit me.
Oh,
so
Granny.
Let's just sweet church lady.
Your church lady?
My church, yeah. She was coming for choir practice. Great segue. And look
at that.
I was leaving for the day.
This stuff is easy for us, bro.
It just comes full circle. I was leaving, and she just turned right into me and never saw me, I guess. And
now, this was in your Pathfinder?
Yeah, this is in my Pathfinder. So, old girl's in the shop right now. What's making it kind of complicated is trying to figure out how I'm going to get my custom paint job, because the body shop won't do that particular paint job. So I got to take it back to the place that painted it in the first place. I was going to try to get them to do some little touch-up work anyway. So maybe it is what it is. It's not that huge of a deal, but we drive to California in like T-minus 3 weeks or so.
Yeah. So, does that come through with that paint job through the second paint shop that come through insurance still? All under the same claim?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Because it wasn't my liability, I wasn't at fault. The other person's insurance is going to have to pay to restore my car to the state it was in before the accident, which includes the custom paint job. So bummer, but they're gonna have to cover it. So
how's Granny doing?
She's okay.
Sorry, she driving
Sunday. Like a little Nissan Versa Note or something like that. A little thing. She told me on Sunday she'd find out this week if it was totaled or not. So I took significantly less damage than she did. But here's like the insult to injury part of it. She hit me in such a way that something started leaking from my front end. And I saw it as soon as I got out of the car. There's just like this liquid, like pretty steadily flowing out of some reservoir under my hood. And so I immediately was like, okay, this could be a radiator. This could be whatever. Yeah. So I moved the car off to the side so I could more closely examine this liquid. It's clear. I was talking to the insurance company the next day and they were like, well, could you tell that it was water? I was like, I didn't taste it, but it had the consistency of water. But I don't know really what it was. And so we ended up towing the car to the body shop because it just seemed safer than to drive it. But upon further inspection, and I haven't got the official word from the body shop, but it looks like it was a hose that they actually hit, not even the actual reservoir itself. It was a hose. The night of, I thought, you know what I ought to do? Because I thought it might be windshield wiper fluid. I thought, maybe it's right there at that part of the car. So I was like,
you've never needed it more.
I will let this thing drain overnight. And then tomorrow I'll come in and pump my windshield wipers with the fluid and see if it's windshield wiper fluid, it'll be gone because it'll just drain out all overnight. And so I come in the next day, still full. So I have no idea to this day what the liquid was.
What other clear liquids are in the vehicle?
I don't know. I asked a mechanic buddy of mine and I said, could it be brake fluid? Because that's what the insurance adjuster on the phone said. He was like, no, it's not thick enough to be brake fluid. It's water from somewhere. That's the thing. It's water. I'm almost 100% sure it's water. I just have no idea where that water is coming from.
Yeah.
So Anyway,
antifreeze. Wow, antifreeze is like blue, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I had the double coolant antifreeze combo. I just gotten an oil change and all my liquids topped off. So it's here's the other thing. This is kind of the insult to injury on it. So the further insult.
Another insult.
Yeah. So my insurance
not as many injuries, but quite a few insults.
No, I feel fine. My insurance covers a rental car, thankfully, but it only covers an economy car. So I had to do some hunting in the Metroplex to find an economy car. And when I say I mean I called my insurance company and said, I'm either going to need you to cover a more expensive car or to find me one that you'll cover. So I was on hold for like 20 minutes. They found an Enterprise that had a car that I could get into. A little Toyota Corolla, cute little thing, right?
Cute as a button.
This was like Tuesday, I guess. I drove it to work on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was home. Didn't do anything. If I went anywhere, Charity was here. We just took her car. And then so Sunday, I go out to get in that thing and go to church on Sunday morning, and it won't start. So now my rental car is battery.
The rental car
or something. Yeah, the rental car.
Come on, Enterprise.
Yeah, it's weak. So I actually have someone let me borrow one of those portable battery charger things. So I have that currently charging in my kitchen right now, and tomorrow morning I'll see how it goes.
Is there another car on? Is there another genre of car on the planet that gets more abused than rental cars? Like, I feel like every time I get into a rental car, it's a whew. Where are we at?
I know how I've driven rental cars in the past. And generally I've rented cars to save wear and tear on my own car. So I also used to sell cars, and part of selling a car at CarMax is providing for your customer the vehicle history report. Well, if I ever saw that a car was a previous rental, I tried to steer customers away from it.
Yeah, that's you don't want that.
You just never know. And now CarMax has a return policy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't need you driving this car for a week and then the floorboard falling out of it and you bringing it back and messing with my commish.
Yeah, because Frank drove that Corolla like a bat out of hell 3 years ago. Yeah, I understand.
Took the governor off, like this put me also, up to 115.
You mentioned something that your insurance company, and this is a little adult talk for our adult talks fans that are out there. Why is it that when you have a car that is a certain type of car, in your case, it's an SUV, and your rental
SUV,
and you have the large SUV for XYZ reason, maybe you lug around a bunch of sound equipment, maybe you've got 38 kids. Hey, it's not my business or the rental car company's business. But the point is you have an SUV and you pay for that rental car reimbursement. And then they're like, oh, here's a Kia
Toyota Corolla.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Can we get the, we just went through that with our Alfa Romeo. They were kind enough to get us a rental car during the repair of the Alfa Romeo. And it's an SUV, and they gave us a Nissan Altima, which, again, grateful to have a rental car that's covered, but I live my life in an SUV. So I would appreciate that if I'm paying for the rental car, reimbursement coverage, that I get that. Also, more adult talk. If you are signing up for insurance right now, get the rental car coverage for your thing. If you have, it's like $6. It's like $6.
Ours is like closer
$3,
to $20, I think, a month.
Okay.
But it's still worth it. I mean,
these,
especially right now, there's a car shortage in DFW for rental cars, so the prices are way up there. I mean, we're talking like $70, $80 a day.
Yeah.
So it's by the time it's all said and done, I'll probably have this car for 2 weeks. So I'm not trying to pay $400.
No, who wants to do that? I was also, I mean, Turo is the way to go, man. I mean, if you can get a rental car through Turo, way cheaper, way better. They're personally owned vehicles. So most people take care of them a little bit better, and it's more reasonable. It's there's usually a human being on the other line rather than an automated system. And so you get to,
I've thought about renting my car out through Turo.
I think it's a great idea. It'll pay your car payment if you can get get it rented. It's
especially because I drive.
Just have somebody else driving your car.
I drive, and I wonder if like it might have some appeal to like certain drug dealers. You know, like
certainly, especially if they're just gonna be gone for the night.
Right, you got some business to take care of at
right.
like 11:45. Like, hey, and then I have a murdered out Nissan Pathfinder you can rent for me.
Yeah, and then where the cops gonna find this Nissan Pathfinder? At a church parking lot.
Pay me in small unmarked bills. I will tell you this, that I have found police follow me more often since I got the paint job.
Oh yeah, I had that little Honda Civic that I had was matte black, and I had a few cops make the block. I'm like, especially at the end of the month when they're trying to make those quotas.
I had a sheriff follow me onto the property the other day, onto the church property. Like I'm driving to my parking spot, and he comes in, and at some point, you know, does a U-ing and comes around, but he probably followed me for 3 miles before I got to the church.
Then he saw you pull into the church parking lot, and he's like, he's fine. He doesn't want to defund the police. He's good.
We definitely don't want to defund the police.
No, we're not interested in that at all. Lawlessness. So I'm really sorry to hear about your situation. We just got our SUV back maybe 3 weeks ago. So things have been great. Had the truck, loved my truck.
Sold the truck. I remember that.
Sold the truck. We had to sell it because gas is insane here. And I was putting $7,500 a week into my truck just to drive to work, like not going anywhere. We didn't drive it on weekends. It was just like, hey, I'm just going to drive to and from work. My commute's like 18 miles from work, like, which I know all your Texas listeners are probably like 18 miles. That's nothing for California. That's basically right around the corner if you're going 18 miles in California. So anyways, the truck was getting too expensive. So sold it. And then we bought a little Audi A4. It's an older car. It's maybe, I think it's like a 2009 or something like that. Found a great deal on it. Super low miles. It had 2 owners. The first owner was a leased vehicle, so super low miles for that. And the second guy had it for like 6 months. And so I bought this car, no car, got the Carfax report. So no prior accidents. So we get the car home, we pick it up on a Monday, and the very next Friday, we were going to New Orleans for my brother's wedding, which shout out to Matt and Emily. They got married, so congratulations to them. But we were in New Orleans. Yay. And so we're flying back on Sunday, and I start noticing that my camera is going off a lot on my phone, like my home security camera. So I'm looking down, and it's like, oh, there's motion. I'm like, okay, there's always motion, fine. But then my wife goes, oh my God, did you see what happened? I go look on my home security camera. My son's basketball goal. We had a crazy like windstorm, which where I live in Southern California, we get the Southern California Santa Ana winds, and the wind.
The Santa Anas
blew my basketball goal over on top of my vehicle, on top of this Audi, my Audi A4. And I have audio on the video, and you can hear where it like hits, it like thumps, like, oosh, and then you hear the or it scratches on the side of the car. So
I was looking, you sent me the video. I did send you the video. Find it. I was going to try to screen share it. I'll try to add it in post. Okay. I'll add it in post so our viewers can see
our production value.
So I've watched that video.
Yeah, it's cringe
times. And the minute you see it start tipping is the moment you're just like, oh no. No. And then it's like slow motion, like
yeah, it's really slow. It's hard to
rough.
watch.
It's rough. So
I tore up we also had branches that just flew. I had a 12-foot branch that flew on top of the car. So I get home, the passenger fender has two huge dents on it where like the base of it hit. I've got the driver's side fender has got the scratch where the rim hit it and drug all the way down the side, big orange mark. It hit the dent in the panel of the like the windshield. Fortunately, didn't bust the windshield out. And then there's like where the tree branch fell on, there's like this huge dent on the front. So we took it in today for an estimate. They said it's all going to be covered, but I got to pay I still got to pay the deductible for it for personal property. So it's going to be $500 basically for a new paint job and new, fenders and hoods and all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty painful, bro. And it's hard to watch that on a home secure. Like when you watch the video of it and there's nothing you can do to stop it, you're just like, oh man, I just feel so helpless. It's just painful.
It's brutal.
Again, we had only had the car at that time for like 6 days. So not that it's a new car, but it's new to us. And you're just like, no. Oh, and you hear that. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. It hurt me. It hurt me to watch. I'm going to hit my share screen button here because I have this video.
Did you get the video?
I do. Yeah. Let's see if I can pull this out here.
This is why you all should watch this on YouTube if you're not watching it. Let's see
if this will work here. Oh man, that won't let me do it because I'm currently in Zoom. Oh well. I'll add it in post. So
add it in post.
Let's take
pretend
a moment
that this
here.
is the segment.
Yeah, this is the moment, the picture-in-picture moment here, and I'll just like, oh God, here it comes. Here it comes. You can hear the wind. You hear the wind. Here it comes. Wait for it. There's more. Hold on. And bam.
Look at that. Yeah.
It's rough. That was good. That was a good reenactment. I watched it so we could kind of sync up the audio.
That's good.
That's the level of production you're getting here on the Steven show.
That's top notch. That was free. That didn't cost our viewers anything.
I'm gonna edit that in iMovie and it's gonna be sensational, just so you're aware.
I'm really looking forward to it. So anyways, my car is we took it in for an estimate today. And then we're going to have to get that fixed. And then we're going to get a rental car while we wait. It should be like a 1-week job, hopefully. So yeah, cars, man. It sucks being an adult.
I was thinking about this earlier. This is kind of an adult thing to talk about as well. Shifting gears here, but segueing with the topic of adulthood. I have found myself becoming increasingly obsessed with finding great deals on Amazon. Have you experienced this side of the dad life where like for me, like Black Friday was about like, I wonder what kind of phone case I can get on Amazon. Is that
say it? You know what it is.
I don't. What is that? It's a racket of some sort.
Yes, it's an electric fly zapper.
What?
Yeah. You want to talk about being a dad and finding Amazon great deals? $13 Cyber Monday, bro. No, Black Friday, bro.
How much was it discounted from?
$39.99. So
oh my God. We need that. Can you send me that link? I need that.
Of course I will.
And let me show you my Amazon find. I'm all about phone cases.
Yeah.
And this is one that I'm particularly proud of because one of the things that has always bothered me is not having the sleek design of the iPhone when you have a case on it.
Especially when you pick the color.
But you have to have a lip on the case lest you drop it and it shatters the screen. So I got this one, which is like a two-sided case thing here, and the phone like rests in here, and then you put the top on. It magnetically attaches. And the top piece is it's a privacy screen protector.
I can't see if you turn it. Look at that.
Yes. So all the nosy people in your life trying to read your text message. And let me say this, you don't know how many nosy people in your life are trying to read your text messages until you have a privacy screen filter. And they're like, you got something on your screen? I'm like, stop looking at it.
Mind your own business. What is it with that? Why are people want to read what I have to say? It really bothers me.
I'm one of the nosiest people when it comes to that. Like if you're sitting next to me with your phone out and your font at like 24, like you're just inviting me to be a part of your life at a level that I have no problems taking.
I love the people that boost that text size on their iPhone. I don't care what your reason is. Like if it's like, I don't see very good, then Sugarfoot, get some better glasses because we can all read your stuff. It's like an overhead projector at church.
Yep. Like you just like slowly easing that thing up.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. So yes, I would like for you to send me the link to this particular cell phone case because I'm trying.
It was only $18.
That's a win.
So huge.
I'm a big fan of my new Flyswatter. Just arrived tonight. Great barbecue and grill companion, keeps the bugs away from your barbecue. Instant zap. Electric Flyswatter will electrocute any bug. Lights out.
So you're swinging it, right?
You don't even. So like when a fly comes, you have to like whack, which is always a fun game. You right, learn, sure. How your vibe is. But this is, you really don't even have to make full contact. You just have to like lightly. It's like a light brisk.
Like get in the vicinity of the fly.
The vicinity, and if it touches it, have you ever hit a fly with a fly swatter, and that little son of a bee goes off flying anyways? And
no,
it's like,
actually.
Oh, dude.
I'm not.
You will lose your salvation if you take a swing at a fly. You make contact with him, but you don't quite smash him, and he flies off. Yeah,
that's some X-Men stuff right there.
Listen, if you're still a Christian after that.
I killed a fly with my shoe the other day on our kitchen counter, and I kid you not, that joker was this big.
Charity was like, "Oh, what?
My shoe! I had to pull my shoe off."
Oh, I thought you said a high chew, and I was like, "That's incredible." Like the candy, like
some of those high chew. Some of those are pretty hard. Like they may get the job done, but no, I pulled my shoe off and went full Shang-Chi on it, and just like on the counter. Really proud of myself, but that corpse was massive. It needed a burial plot.
Well, I would encourage you to grab one of these electric fly swatters.
Would love to. I frequently get made fun of in my home for how inaccurate I am with the fly swatter.
Yeah, that's something that your wife must know my wife in some capacity, because I also have a dog that is traumatized by fly swatters. We got our dog when he was 5 months old, and now he's 11 years old, and we can't bring the fly swatter out without this guy losing his ever-loving mind.
Wow.
Like we've never struck this dog with a fly swatter, so I don't know.
Somebody did though. Somebody did.
I don't know what he experienced in the 5 months he was a puppy between his birth to the time where he came to our life, but there was a fly swatter involved because this dog is traumatized. So the electric fly swatter over here is hopefully to, give him some emotional support and let him know we're not really after him
until you electrocute him.
Yeah, but I digress. You do always have to touch yourself with the thing to make sure you understand exactly how shocking it is. And it's not that shocking. Actually, I'm a little surprised you could buy this over the internet.
Yeah, it seems like it's bordering on dangerous, to be honest.
I'm reading the label here. Shock or zap anything. Okay. Challenge accepted. Let's see where that takes us.
Can you shock it? You ever see those old YouTube videos like, can you blend it? And people would put crazy stuff in a blender. Maybe the Steven and Steven show has a segment where we ask, can you shock it?
Can you shock a banana? Let's find out together.
What are the results of the shock banana?
What other deals have you found on Amazon? This is not a promotion for Amazon. It's a promotion on our ability to
I would love
deal.
to be promoted by Amazon. I would love to be sponsored by Amazon. I find these people on TikTok all the time showing off all their Amazon finds, and I'm like, why not me? God knows, there's a Bible verse that says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be. And guess what? My heart is
at Amazon.
And they get way more of my money than I'd like to admit. But we do everything: direct fulfill, our dog food, like auto renewal, it just shows up when I need it to. I got this great phone case that I was really, really excited about. And then actually, you know what? Let me just look through my recent Amazon purchases.
Well, I do have some issues with some of the cyber deals that go, like I'm looking at one right now, just pulled up Amazon. Cyber Monday deal, 30% off a NordTrack treadmill. $649 regular price. Now it's $550, blah, blah, blah. $454. So it's like 200 bucks off. Like I appreciate that, but I'm still not going to spend $450 on a treadmill. Like you're taking up my news feed here, Amazon. You can buy a robotic house cleaner, one like a Roomba, and it's anywhere. It's anywhere.
We had one of those for a hot minute. It's nice. I would do it again.
Really? Well, why do you not have one anymore?
Did it run its course? Well, here's the thing, and we just don't use it. I don't know if it's run its course. Like, I feel like it might need to be reprogrammed. When we bought it, we were living in a different house.
Reprogrammed?
Yeah, catch this. These jokers are smart, okay? So I bet we could like restore it to factory settings, and I've changed out some things in there over time. But listen to this: when you first set it up, they send you these strips, these like magnet strips that they tell you to put on the floor to like basically, if you don't want to go in a certain room, put it on the floor and it won't go into that area.
I see.
You always have to like close doors at night if you don't want it to go into. But the thing is, I had mine set to like run at like 2 a.m. or something like that every night. And we would close the doors, and it programs itself basically by bumping around the house. And
then it starts to remember
vacuum, and it remembers your floor plan.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
So it got to a place where it's going straight at a wall, and right as before it hits the wall, it just turns. It's the craziest thing. It's pretty phenomenal. But then we moved and tried to run it, and it got all jacked up.
And I just forgot everything.
It also runs like it picks stuff up. Like if you've got something like a Lego or like a kid's toy on the ground, it will get stuck. And getting that thing out of there is a pain. So we set it aside for a hot minute. I would go back to it. Now that Joel's a little older.
Yeah, it's probably not great if you have a bunch of small kids with a bunch of small toys lying around the house.
Yeah, our house is a little more. We have fewer little bitty toys now than we did when we first had it. So I feel like it'd be something worth going back to. If you want to sponsor me, Amazon, and send me a free one.
I mean, Jeff Bezos is just getting the floor plan to your house, and clearly that's.
Have I told you about my?
That's how he's made his billions.
Have I told you about my Instagram monetization?
No. Congratulations.
So your boy got monetized on Instagram.
How about that?
I don't want to brag, but I've made $30.
That's what I was going to ask. What is the monetizes?
Yeah.
How's it like making money?
It's okay. It's based entirely off of like views on Instagram videos.
Okay.
So it's like a penny per view on the current bonus promotion. I don't really get it too much. I got a notification on my phone that was like, hey, you're eligible to enroll in this Instagram monetization program. Do you want to do it?
It is profitable.
Enter your PayPal info here. Oh, yeah, your boy just paid for a month worth of podcast on the Steven and Steven show with my Instagram.
You're welcome.
So we're staying alive, baby.
Congratulations.
I'm
still trying to get the swipe up feature.
They don't swipe up anymore. It's links.
I know. They took the fun out of it.
Anybody can do a link now. Yeah, anybody can do a link. You used to have 10,000 followers.
It's not fun if everybody can do it.
I know. I want to be exclusive. That's my desire. So I started putting some content on my Instagram, and Reels. Started putting some stuff on TikTok.
So if everybody's wondering the influx of content, you're just trying to get paid a little bit. So if you just take a few minutes,
100%. If you could just
watch Shelton's Instagram,
it's quality content. It's about Jesus. Like
feed a hungry mouth. That's all you're really doing. You're just helping the cause.
I've got student loans.
Hey, speaking of bills, I noticed you're rocking a Texas Rangers hat today. How you doing, bud? You feeling great?
It might be one of the best sports days of my life.
Corey Seager. 10 years, 325.
Listen, that's $100 million more than we gave A-Rod 20 years ago. I remember where I was when they signed that A-Rod deal. 10-252 was the A-Rod deal. It was the biggest deal in the history of baseball at the time. And
Seager's worth it too.
Trading him in a few years. Yeah, I'm not mad.
No opt-out clause, and he's got a limited trade.
This is our second big signing of the last 24 hours. We got Marcus Semien last night as well.
Yeah.
Marcus Semien from the Blue Jays was third in the MVP vote this year, hit over 40 home runs, most home runs ever for a second baseman. the thought was that there was like 5 shortstops in the free agent market this year, and the Rangers were going to go for broke going for one of them. So we signed Semien last night, who played second base but had been a shortstop for most of his career, and everybody was saying he wants to go back to shortstop. So we signed Marcus Semien last night. I think it was like 7 years, $175 million or something like that. It was like a $25 million per year deal for Semien. And everybody's like, oh, we got a shortstop. But there were some sports writers saying, like, I don't think the Rangers are done. And then, we've now officially committed like $500 million to 2 guys to play baseball.
And they play the same position? Crazy. Or they're going to move Seager to second?
So Semien's going to play second. He won a Gold Glove there this year. So Semien will play second. Seager will play short. Here's the thing. I don't think the Rangers are done.
Yeah.
I think we've got one more outfielder probably that we need to pick up. There's a guy in Japan named Suzuki, which is also an excellent brand of
go figure.
I think Suzuki is a dirt bike brand potentially. So I don't know if there's any
in the full motorcycle game.
I don't know if there's any relationship between this young man and the motorcycle brand, but he played great in Japan. Rangers have usually had good success grabbing Japanese players. Yu Darvish,
so it's a rough day for the Dodgers. I saw they lost Max Scherzer today.
Max Scherzer, listen, the New York Mets are acting a fool. They gave that man $43 million per year.
That seems preposterous.
He is older than me.
Yeah.
And is going.
I don't know that LeBron James makes $43 million a year.
I mean, I'm sure he does, all things said and done. But
sure, that's fair.
From the Lakers, I'm probably not.
No. From China, definitely.
Here's the other thing you've got to realize about Max Scherzer, though. Max Scherzer is a starting pitcher, which means he's only playing every 5 days. Max Scherzer probably won't play 43 games. He's getting $43 million a year. He probably won't start 43 games. He'll probably start somewhere between 35 and 38, which means that man is making more than $1 million per start.
To watch baseball.
I did some math the other day, or this morning, I guess, when that news came out. That man is making like $200,000 an inning.
Just for being there.
Or based on his average pitch count per start, Max Scherzer makes about $25,000 a pitch.
Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to half a tank of gas will do it.
Meanwhile, your boy made $30 on Instagram this week. And is feeling lit about himself.
Is baseball, is MLB, is that guaranteed money?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, no, if you get cut, bro, you're getting paid. 100% you're getting paid.
It's so bizarre to me that baseball, no salary cap in baseball, so they can just throw the money.
Now,
if they want to pay it, they pay it.
We're hours from a lockout right now.
You think so?
They're renegotiating that CBA. A lot of the frenzy you've seen in signing these guys, Semien, Scherzer, John Gray, Corey Seager, a lot of the rush for teams was to get them signed under the current CBA. So that they were grandfathered into it. And no matter what changes get made, those guys, they've got their guaranteed deals. So I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go with the CBA this go around.
I love lockouts.
I seriously doubt we'll have a work stoppage in terms of like actual games missed. But I do think that there's a lot broken in the arbitration system. The arbitration system in general is insane. So for those of you who don't know, I'm trying to break this down. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I understand, if Kim Kardashian can take the bar exam, your boy can do.
We all got a shot.
It's true. Oh, can we talk about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson tonight? Let me talk about arbitration first. But I'm so confused. Okay. Arbitration, basically, a player with less than a certain amount of service time is not guaranteed any certain amount of money. Your rookie deal pays you whatever the rookie minimum is. Right. And that's like your minimum guarantee. You then go to arbitration at the end of the season and say, as a player, look, I performed this well this year. I submit that my salary should be this for this coming year. You're still under team control. So you're not to the point where you can negotiate with other teams because you're not a free agent yet. But you get to basically make your case for why you should make more money than
why you should get a raise.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the teams basically show up and say,
it's like being off probation at work.
You think you're worth $3 million? Yeah, but did you forget that you struck out 150 times?
Always bringing the negative.
And it basically sets a team and a player up to talk trash to each other about the player.
They're headbutting after year one.
So what it does is it often sets up this animosity between a player and the team that results in free agency coming around after 7 years. That guy being like, you never thought I was good enough.
How long is the rookie deal?
During arbitration. I want to say it's 6 years of control.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The NBA is 4 years of control. You only get 4 years. You get signed to your rookie deal, and you have the extension that's allowed for year. I think you're eligible for an extension in year 4, but you can get 2 additional years onto it. Of course, they can always send you to restricted free agency and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot to it. I think the weird part about it is the NFL, which is way more violent and painful. None of that stuff's guaranteed. None of that money is guaranteed unless you get it into your contract. Like if you're Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, but the regular running back or cornerback or linebacker,
cut.
Yeah, you have a $70 million deal and only like $9 million of it's guaranteed, and they can cut you at any time for no reason. They don't have that. Just you're not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
You had an injury? We're out of here. You're done.
I saw this tweet today about the NFL, and they were talking about injuries in the NFL, and the comment they made was like, people don't understand that being in the NFL is like being in multiple car crashes every single week.
Yeah. And not being paid for it. Just paying your deductible.
Knowing that if you get into one of those car crashes and get hurt to the place where you can't get into a car crash again next week, you're gonna lose your job. How is this okay?
This is unacceptable.
The NFL is broken. It's why
the league is bad.
I watched the Cowboy Raiders game on Thursday, which congratulations.
Go Raiders.
Raider fan.
That's
right. Some questionable things happening in that game, but there were some people.
The reps were fantastic.
Were they?
They were great. I thought it was some of the best refereeing job I've seen all year.
I got to say this. Tony Romo is a delight as a color
He
commentator.
really is a joy, isn't he?
I don't know that I've ever enjoyed anything as much as Tony Romo enjoys calling a football game. It kept me entertained. But I had people over here and they were like, I didn't even know you liked the NFL. I was like, well, I feel like it's Thanksgiving. I should watch the Cowboys. But
everybody likes the NFL on Thanksgiving.
But also, I don't really like the NFL. I mean, I'll watch a whole game. I'll watch a Cowboy game. I'll watch a Baylor Bear football game, which going to the Big 12 championship.
Hey,
stick 'em Bears. But it's because I loathe the NFL business model. Yeah. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
And
the games
and basketball are far superior to me.
Yeah. And the games are too long. Like I'm so thankful for NFL Red Zone. I watch NFL Red Zone every Sunday. I love NFL Red Zone, especially if you play fantasy sports like we do. But just
I was sitting in a Plucker's Wing Bar yesterday after church, and I was really way into an Eagles game. And somebody's like, "Are you into the Eagles?" And I was like, "No, but Jalen Hurts is my quarterback, and apparently doesn't mean anything to him." First of all,
he doesn't care.
He cares nothing about me based on his performance in this game. And also, I have the Eagles defense, so I just am all around having a bad afternoon.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch football on Monday night. I want to check my fantasy football app, see if I won or not, and move on with life.
Be done with it. My wife talks the most trash and watches the least amount of football for any fantasy football player. I don't think she knows. She can't name 5 teams. She probably doesn't know. She doesn't even know the 10 players that are in her fantasy lineup. But by golly, when she looks at that score on Monday night, she will curse a running back if he gets 6 points.
Mispronounces his name.
Doesn't know how to say his name. She's like, "Oh, this guy Mostart. What's his name? Raheem Mostert. Oh yeah, he didn't give me any point." Okay, just stay on your thing. You know who does have a guaranteed contract though? Apparently, Pete Davidson. Hello. How is this guy?
I still feel like America is getting punked right now.
It's got to be a joke. So first, I don't. Why is it happening? Is this a rebound? Is it a?
Kanye's not happy, man. Have you read some of Kanye's stuff? Where
he fully expects that the Lord is going to bring them back together. He and Kim,
and I pray
they're going to rekindle their flame.
He said a couple weeks ago. He said, "I ain't seen no divorce papers." So sounds like our girl's an adultery if she's shacking up with Pete. Holding hands at Knott's Berry Farm, please.
I mean, Pete Davidson is. I just think, wasn't she in Lakewood Church like a year ago
with Kanye?
With Kanye, and now she's at Knott's Berry Farm with Pete Davidson.
You know what? I just watched Pete Davidson in. Netflix did a roast of the Jonas Brothers.
Oh yeah. That was good.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, that was solid.
I thought Pete was pretty funny in that. I actually thought Joe was pretty funny in that as well.
Well, the Jonas Brothers were.
I can't stand Nick Jonas.
I don't like any of the Jonas Brothers. I mean, I was never into that vibe, anyways. But that was like a group of guys that I was like. I get Hanson. I get boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Like that was an era, right? It was like I don't understand the Jonas Brothers.
To me,
just like I don't understand Pete Davidson.
To me, Pete Davidson with Kim Kardashian is the equivalent of Nick Jonas with Priyanka Chopra. I am so confused.
It doesn't make sense. I guess if you have a
startling.
Really great personality and a lot of money.
Nope, I don't know. I have no idea. There's like all these memes on Twitter. It's like, what if Pete Davidson's secret thing is that he just like listens to women and validates their feelings? And it's like,
yeah, I'm sure that'll do it. I think there's other memes though where he's like hanging out with Kanye, and it's like, hey, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But it's perplexing to me. The other one that like doesn't make sense is I guess it makes sense. I don't care about these people, but I keep seeing stuff of Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, which I mean,
who is like apparently best friends with Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah, and then you've got Travis Barker and Kourtney
Kardashian. Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, these people are disgusting. They were at the VMAs and they were making out in a bathroom. I'm like, did COVID go away? You guys are 2 feet from a urinal. And you're swapping saliva, like. Ugh.
So you went to a Christian school, so you'll understand this, and people are probably wondering where the heck this is going.
A lot of Christian schools.
This all kind of reminds me of Christian college, and what I mean by that is this: at a Christian college, there are typically far more women than men.
Yeah,
and so what ends up?
I wonder if that's by design.
Well, either way, what ends up happening is some really pretty girl ends up settling for like a 6.5 because that's the best available option. So I feel like what's happened is there's like a shortage maybe, or maybe the Kardashians have just gone through every other guy in Hollywood and now they're left with Pete Davidson and Travis Barker. Or maybe it's an overcorrection, right? Yeah. Like,
I was with Kanye.
I've dated models.
What's the opposite of Kanye?
Athletes. How about Pete Davidson or Travis Barker? I mean, it's perplexing to say the very least.
Well,
I don't pretend to get it.
Well,
they find what they're looking for.
Yeah, the Christian college thing is interesting because I think you're onto something there. I feel like, have you ever heard the phrase like women are drawn to the anointing? Like, yeah. I think there's a scary tendency for people to go to like Christian colleges.
Are you calling Pete Davidson anointed?
Yeah, just like I'm calling Kim Kardashian a prophetess.
Hello.
At the Christian colleges, they're teaching you so much about like biblical marriage, while simultaneously everyone's coming into adolescence and their hormones are raging, and simultaneously everyone is trying to. I mean, you remember how you were at 20 years old, you're 22 years old. You thought your life was going to be figured out at 25. I'm 35. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with my life, but
I had no clue.
But
maybe make some more money on Instagram if I'm lucky.
Maybe that's what it'll be. But there's like this urge for people to like find somebody. And when you do that, you're like in your own short world. You have like this, what's around me, and that's what my options are. And I think that is kind of similar to the way that Hollywood is, like Hollywood elites. I mean, they have, what's the dating app that they have, like Raya, right? Which it's for it's for other rich people, right? It's for other famous people. So people, they look at like, what's around me, what's my environment, these are my peers, this is what's in my inner circle, so these are my options to choose from. And I'm always fascinated by that, because I'm like, there's 6.5 billion people on the planet. Like, I mean,
you want to date in your friend group.
Like, yeah, and you want to date in your friend group, like you want, like Pete Davidson, that's where you landed, huh, girl? All right, I mean, do your thing. I don't tell you how to live your life, but it's
that way.
It's funny to the distant observer, and it was always funny to the distant.
We're all distant observers when it comes to like celebrity culture, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know Kim, I don't know Pete, so disclaimer again: don't take your news guys from us, but like, bless the Lord, like. But Pete Davidson should be the inspiration for every little boy, every awkward kid out there thinking like, I'll never find a pretty girl. Well, if Pete Davidson can end up with Kim Kardashian, and let's just be, this isn't even his first pretty girl.
I know.
He was with Ariana Grande. He's been with other like actually attractive women, and here we are, 2021, man, the year of our Lord, the year of Pete Davidson.
And homie took a nosedive out of the ugly tree and then hit every branch on the way down. And
I feel like he just doesn't even, like, that's his brand. Like, he's just leaning into it, though.
It doesn't even phase him. He's like, I don't even care anymore. Blonde hair, I'm gonna do it. Like, let's go for it. I can't do blonde hair. I'm too pretty.
Anyways. Well, I'm turning gray quickly.
See, but it's a salt and pepper gray.
I saw you with a beard a couple of weeks ago that was just like so full and glorious. Mm-hmm. I decided to grow mine out too. So
I appreciate that. I still haven't shaved.
We'll keep some progress on this.
We're going through the holidays with this.
Yeah. It helps me hide my holiday weight better. Before we sign off, I gotta tell you about my streaming pick of the week. Okay. We do this kind of regularly, what we're watching. And I need everyone listening, watching, whatever, to make a commitment to me right now that you will go watch Get Back, the Beatles documentary on Disney Plus.
Wow.
It is a Peter Jackson. I could do another hour about what I've been watching. And I'm 2/3 of the way through the second installment. Now they're 3 hours a piece. Okay. So sit down, buckle up, Buttercup. But it is insane. It is.
It's about the Beatles?
And I wouldn't consider myself like this great Beatles aficionado. Right. I mean, I'm obsessed with it now because I'm watching the process of Paul and John, like Yoko Ono's in it. You can like see how that whole story, like, and it's a documentary. It's not a reenactment. It's actual footage of them filming a live album, and they're rehearsing for it. And it is some of the craziest, most insightful.
Gives you that behind the scenes look.
Paul McCartney is a genius. Paul McCartney is an actual verifiable genius. And watching this documentary has just like absolutely proven that to me time and time over again. Yeah, absolutely recommend it. 100 out of 100.
And where's this available?
It's Disney Plus. And Peter Jackson, who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy, among other things, it directed and put this footage together. So I absolutely cannot recommend it enough. Whether you're a Beatles fan or not, like I said, I wasn't a huge Beatles fan. Feel like I know all the popular songs, which there's way more popular songs by the Beatles than you realize were actually by the Beatles. But it is one of the coolest pieces of film I've ever seen. Ever. So highly recommended. On the other end of the spectrum, there's a new Home Alone movie on Disney Plus as well. Yes. So something for everybody these days.
We've watched it 900 times already.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
yeah. It's I want to promote my streaming movie that I've watched, Red Notice on Netflix.
Yes!
If you haven't seen it.
Yes, I have.
It's so good with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gail Gadot, who's saying, if was it? She's saying, I can only imagine. No,
I love Gal.
Not quite. Only imagine. She's saying, "Imagine all the people." I don't know what that song is. She's a little overrated. But The Rock, so? Our future president, Dwayne Johnson.
Have you watched Young Rock on NBC?
No.
It's a show about Dwayne running for president.
Oh, I'm gonna go watch it right now. I love it.
Called Young Rock.
I don't care if Dwayne Johnson runs on a socialist ticket. He has my vote. So,
are you a big Dwayne Johnson fan? So is Charity.
Love the
Charity
Rock.
Loves The Rock.
He's a great guy. I don't know if he's a great guy. He seems like he's a great guy.
Entertaining.
Yeah, I watched a few seasons of Ballers on HBO, and he's very well rounded for a guy who was just running around in his underpants wrestling.
One of the most highly paid entertainers in the world.
And apparently he was a terrible football player, by the way.
At the University of Miami.
At the University of Miami.
It's all in the Young Rock, the show on NBC, on Peacock.
Well, I gotta watch this.
Definitely watch it. But I liked Red Notice. I'm a Ryan Reynolds fan, though.
I love Ryan Reynolds. He and Hugh Jackman do some great stuff.
I'm annoyed by how much I like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I know. Like he's solid, man. And he's only getting better looking.
Funny guy. Yeah.
God, man, he's really good looking. I mean, I'm not trying to make it weird, but yeah. So Ryan Reynolds, go see Red Notice and go see, what was the Beatles documentary again? One more time.
Get Back.
Okay. Those are your streaming services. Great episode 10.
So good.
We'll try not to take off
a milestone for us. A milestone.
I think so. Share this with a friend, and don't forget you can follow Steven at Steven Shelton, and you can follow me at the Hailstone. You can follow our Twitter and Instagram accounts at the Two Stevens. You can email us at the Steven and Steven Show at gmail.com. Ask us a question. We'll answer it on the air. And then like, rate, and subscribe. Comment on YouTube. Give us a review on iTunes. That's right. I know. But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you later.